The following podcast may be explicit. One Joe Young presents Adventures from the Shed, a tabletop RPG podcast. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com. Podcast log, Supplemental. Games Master Joe recording. The cadets from the shuttle continue their trek to the science outpost on Xerxes 4. We are still learning the Star Trek Adventures RPG rules on the fly in part 2 of this alpha playtest session. Continue along with the away team of First Officer Mickie, Chief Engineer JJ, and Security Officer Chris as we push forward through the mission towards the conclusion of the adventure. We hope you like the character personalities and mission fun during this special series. Make it so, and enjoy the podcast. Hi, and welcome back to the Shed. We're going to jump right back into our Star Trek Adventures session here on Adventures from the Shed. But first, we'll go around the table and say hi, starting with...
Hi, everyone. This is Mickie. In this little adventure, I am playing Teeble, the Vulcan... What is she? Like the cadet?
She's a cadet.
Yeah. Vulcan cadet.
JJ here. I'm playing Yolan, the Denobulan pilot.
This is Chris. I'm playing Zhao Wen. Doesn't really have... he's human. Technically does not have a title. I guess he's the field medic, just barely.
Cool. I am Joe, and I'm the Games Master as we continue the Star Trek Adventures playtest. We're the alpha playtest. And don't flick that bug at me. There's a...
the playtest, don't flick that bug at me.
Exactly. I see. Chris was about to flick a bug, and his finger was headed in this direction. All right, so we are going to jump right back into it. Our characters got off of the shuttle, got through some Neanderthals, over a ravine, and through some poisonous plants, and now they're on their way
to Grandma's house.
To Grandma's house, which is cleverly disguised as a science outpost.
I wonder if there's going to be any big teeth.
That's where Grandma works.
We all wearing red shirts?
So the strong winds caused by the ion storm and the strangeness of the landscape begin to play tricks on your minds. Ooh. Flashes at the corner of your eyes hint at lurking terrors hidden in the cracks in the ground. Wow. This is poorly worded. I'm not going to read it exactly as it's written.
No, I think you should, because that's...
All right. Are the wind whip plants moving on their own approaching you? There's no question mark, but it starts with the word are. The occasional gnawed carcass of a dead animal suggests that a large predator may be in the area. Soon you find your heart racing and your breathing heavy. At this point, you are starting to experience some odd effects. And the way this is going to work is you need to maintain your composure, you need to make a bravery plus command task with a difficulty of 2. This is to remain calm in the face of the oddities going on in your mind.
Everyone needs to start doing their tactical breathing.
Use your That's
Lamar's breathing.
Yeah. That's tactical. All right, so let's figure out who is going to maintain their composure. It's bravery plus command with difficulty of 2. Remember, you've got some momentum there. You can always generate more threat to give yourself another die. And you can use your determination points, which we haven't used yet.
And what does the determination point get us?
Automatic 1.
Oh, so 2 successes.
Yeah, an automatic 2 successes. Right. Like I said, technically by the book, I believe you spend a determination and you take a 20-sided die and you place it with the one facing up in front of you.
And then we would roll the other one?
Yeah. Okay. For each determination point you spend, you get a 20-sided die on the number 1. Yes.
All right.
I guess it's on the 20, but either way, right?
Yeah. That's true.
I'll be literal. Anyone can go first. You're seeing things. There's something out of the corner of your eye, a shadow nearby, something
All right,
odd.
people, roll your dice.
And remember, this is bravery plus command. So what do you have, Mickie? What do you have?
What
bravery?
are you doing?
I'm spending determination.
You're supposed to give them to me. I am the keeper.
Away.
So if you're spending a determination, then you already have 2 successes, and you're going to roll the other one.
How many do we need?
2 successes.
It's a good thing you did that.
So you didn't get a success on the other one?
I did not.
Okay, so you
I
did
not generate momentum.
You got it. Okay.
That's what I was hoping to do, generate some momentum.
And that would have been cool.
I'm just going to roll it.
Roll it.
YOLO.
Do the 14 or less.
Go ahead, Zhao. What you
We're in
got?
a 17. I got 1 success.
Okay. Do you want to use a momentum to roll another die?
No.
Okay.
I'll hold off right now.
Then you will have, let's say, blah, 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 blah.
You will have blah, blah, blah?
Yeah, exactly.
I seen things.
Your nerve breaks and you are becoming increasingly wary and fearful of your surroundings.
There's a wabbit over there.
You guys see something? Something out there, man.
So what that means now for you, any D20 that you roll, you cause a complication on a 19 or 20 instead of just a 20.
All right.
Fantastic.
So your complication range has increased.
There's something out there, guys, and it's not us.
I will also use a determination.
Go for it. So one of your dice is automatically a 1.
So one of my dice is automatically a 1.
So you succeed, and...
And...
What's your target number?
Oh my gosh! Target number is Bravery 7
And
Command 1,
so
which makes 8.
8.
I rolled a 2.
Cool. So you got it. So you generate 1 momentum.
Awesome sauce.
Awesome. And you dropped something.
I did.
What'd you drop?
I dropped some
die?
Some momentum.
You dropped some momentum. Great. So we got momentum on the floor.
There's momentum on the floor.
All right. So we make it through now. Chris, just remember that for Zhao. If you roll a 19 or 20, let me know, because that introduces a complication or causes a complication. Yeah. So you're kind of shaken.
Oh, yeah.
But not stirred.
And yes, and not stirred.
Or deterred.
Or interred.
Interred, yeah.
Yes.
Or injured.
Or incapacitated.
Well, and now you just ruined the rhyme.
Yeah. Sorry.
Exactly.
Although it ended with ED, so maybe we're just past tense. I was on edge, but now I'm past tense. So the science station is intact, but heavily damaged. And it's evident, the heavy damage is evident along the structure's exterior. Mostly dents and punctures mar the surface, but a few areas of phaser fire are evident as well. Inside the outpost, the place has been trashed. From the living quarters to the kitchen to the laboratories, it's obvious someone or something wrecked the place without regard.
Wrecked them. Nearly killed them.
All communication devices have been smashed. I think they put that in there so that you're not going straight to the communications.
That's pretty good.
As you are ready to give up on your search for life, you find one last storage area with the door closed and locked, and you hear a voice from inside.
Communicate with the being
Knock on the
other
door.
side.
Who's in there?
Let's see. Let me see if they have something. You hear just like muttering from the other side of the door, and you hear it's too late. They're all gone.
Aw. Can I find the log?
Do you want to try and open the door?
Yes.
Okay. Let's start.
While those two yahoos are trying to open the door.
I'm going to say that as part of the statement, all communication devices have been smashed. We'll consider that to be their log files as well.
Fine.
Because there isn't anything about that. Everything comes from the person that you're letting out.
Okay.
So she is the living log, as it were.
It's a she?
Yeah. You couldn't tell by the voice? I mean,
it's very
the
manly.
lock is a simple one, easily bypassed. You can use reason and engineering or reason and security. It's a difficulty of 0.
Cadets. We don't know what's on the other side of this door. Perhaps one of us should aim our phaser while the other opens the door.
So here's the deal when something is a difficulty of 0. And I'm not interrupting or anything. I just want to add in here. You can choose to just have it happen. If you roll, you have the chance of getting momentum or introducing complications. So you can choose to just open it, beep, 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 the door opens, or you roll and the door opens as well as momentum or complication.
I will try to roll.
Go for it. So it's the normal
Are we going
2d20.
Is one of us going to put?
Yes, he's going to be at the ready. I don't have a phaser, so
You don't have a
be me.
phaser, so
That's
it's
right.
not you.
Yeah.
So Zal's at the ready.
What are you going to use? Reason and engineering or reason and security?
Reason and engineering.
Okay.
All right.
What
That
you
is
got?
2 successes.
All right, so you generate 2 momentum. So when the door opens, there's a cot in the back of the storage area, and on it sits a middle-aged human woman. She cradles in her arms a human male. It's hard to tell his age because of his strange appearance. He has a sweat-soaked face. It's covered with hair. And even as you watch, the ridges of his eyebrows twitch and pulse as if changing in sporadic fits. Which is kind of creepy, I guess. When you enter, the woman looks up at you and says again, it's too late. They're all gone. And Jasper is... And then she can't finish because she's sobbing.
Let's close the door behind us and lock it again.
Hey.
Okay.
I'm going to attempt a Vulcan mind meld.
Oh, crap. Okay.
So...
With the guy or the woman?
With the woman, because I want to understand why she's in such distress. The guy's eyebrows kind of freak me out right now. So...
Can we bind him with something?
She might react oddly to that, but...
Well, we'll wait till she's getting mind melded.
Yeah, okay.
So do you want me to read how it's described on the character sheet?
Yeah, let's do that.
The character Teevil has undergone training in telepathic techniques that allow the melding of minds through physical contact. This is a control plus sciences task with a difficulty of 1, which can be opposed by an unwilling participant who would use resilience plus command, also with a difficulty of 1. If successful, the character links minds with the participants, sharing thoughts and memories. This link goes both ways and is a tiring process for the character. Complications can result in pain, disorientation, or lingering emotional or behavioral difficulties. So I'm going to take the risk and do a mind meld with the female to try to understand what happened here.
All right, so you roll.
2.
Is she unwilling?
She is not unwilling.
She is not unwilling.
So she is willing. She is willing to talk, but is kind of emotional, right?
Sweet.
Yes.
3 successes.
3 successes.
So does it tell you what your difficulty is to do it again?
There's 1.
It's a difficulty of 1.
So you generate 2 momentum.
Awesome sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I place my hands carefully on her face in the traditional Vulcan placement and
So
do a mind meld.
Here's what I want to do, Mickie, because the way it's intended to work is you are getting into her memories.
Correct.
So what I'd like to do is I'd like to give you this piece of paper that's from the adventure. Those bullets in the bottom is what she would share if you calmed her down and started talking to her. So it makes sense that you'd be able to get that out of her head. And coming from you, it sounds better, I think.
So at the way it usually works with mind melds, right? So at the end, like when he's in it, he being my mentor, Spock.
Yeah, Spock, yeah.
He speaks through it. So this woman is Heidi Ship.
And the memory is pronounced right.
And the memory is pronounced right. Heidi Schwip.
Ship.
Shut up. It's my mind melt.
My meld.
Skip. It's definitely Skip.
Whatever.
I almost just spit water out.
Federation scientists leading the science team. The science team had 13 members and had been here for just over a year. They'd been examining the unique flora and fauna of this planet to see if it offered any scientific or medical uses. The iron storm has been ravaging the planet for over a week, and something about it caused the living inhabitants to go through a process of de-evolution. Mm-hmm. Some of the science workers were more susceptible to the effects, changing almost immediately into Neanderthal versions of themselves. Others took longer, but still transformed. She's held out the longest, but is still starting to feel the effects on her mind. Just before the ion storm struck, they'd made a breakthrough in their research, discovering that a combination of some of the genetic material from the flora and fauna could be useful in the treatment of and possible cure for Euromotic syndrome. And it came out as a question because she wasn't sure how to pronounce that.
Yes.
Her assistant and lover, Dr. Jaspel Conrad, was beaten severely by the transformed scientists. Not only is he suffering from terrible wounds, he is now also transforming into a Neanderthal creature.
Okay. So now
End of bullets.
Back. Yes. So I think you guys got the pertinent stuff out of that. So there were 13-member science team. They just recently, with the storms, they had messed with their genetic structure. They've been devolving. Excuse me. And this guy, Jasper, has been beaten severely by the other transformed scientists. So she would like help,
with Jasper. Can somebody do some healing?
Medic?
So although it's been ransacked, the outpost still has useful medical facilities and other things like that on hand. And you can use empathy and medicine or reason and medicine.
Yeah, I can use. I can definitely help him out. I want to make sure he's bound though, because he is changing.
Okay. So his injuries. Blah blah blah. She is. Her mind is kind of messed up, and you, Teevil would have felt that through the mind meld. Mm-hmm. Her mind is. She's starting to devolve herself, so she's kind of messed up. She can't really help, but. Healing Jasper's injuries does require minor surgery, so you get to try out your real field medic skills.
I don't have
here.
surgery though; that's the only thing.
Well, that's all right. It's control plus medicine with a difficulty of 2.
Or at least that still looks the same. All right, I'm going to use a determination point.
Awesome.
Hey, so then you will succeed.
And then see if I can get some.
Let's see.
Momentum.
Let's see if you get some momentum.
I mean, I make the roll 13. I need a 13, but I didn't get any.
Matching it works.
Okay, that's fine.
You match it or less.
All right.
1 momentum.
You didn't get a 19 or a 20?
No, 13.
All right. So you add 1 momentum as well.
Dude, we've got a nice momentum pile going
do?
on. We've got some momentum going.
Okay, so you're able to fix his injuries. So he is no longer on the brink of death.
Okay.
You've got him.
You brought him back.
Dr. Ship?
Schwepp.
Skip.
Schweppes. Ginger ale.
It's Skip.
You've determined.
So she wants to make sure that you collect specimens as potential treatments for the Aromatic syndrome, the type of stuff that they thought they had a breakthrough for. And so talk amongst yourselves for a moment, because I have to read a little
So
bit.
we need to inoculate ourselves first.
Correct.
But we need the ingredients to make some type of.
Well,
antidote.
they have enough to do at least 1 shot. I mean, they've
Had
had a breakthrough.
Well, we need to review their records, but from my memories, her memories, they were quite close to a breakthrough. So we should go into the laboratory.
Yeah, there's also 7 people unaccounted for. We got 4 we ran into, these 2, and then there's 7 more.
Correct.
He's keeping track. Let me throw out here, the adventure itself says at this point you have a variety of options. Escape, which means collect the parts you need for the shuttle and leave. Aromatic syndrome, following up on her work. Or the de-evolution, where Dr. Ship has made some initial notes on potential cures for it and trying to figure out how to fix it.
Yeah, we gotta help these people out. Can't leave anybody behind.
So those are 3 options that they throw out there.
You've said that before, Zao.
Yeah. And I say it mainly because those are covered here. Anything else you come up with may not be covered.
Right. Yeah. No, let's attempt to find a cure and get everybody off this planet.
Yep.
That does not seem logical.
Ooh.
We should at least find a cure and maybe repair some of their communication equipment so they could get a ride out later. Even I don't know how many people could fit in our shuttle pod. Not that big.
It'll carry 13.
Yeah, plus the 3 of us.
16.
It's gonna be tight in there.
Cramped quarters.
Look, if we can get a cure, they'll be okay here. We'll be fine.
That's a good point.
That's fair.
So just so you know, too, the Aromatic syndrome is just what had previously been, and could still be, an uncurable disease, but it is not what anyone here is infected with. Okay, that's just something else. It's like saying they found a cure for the common cold here, or at least they think they did, and they would have to make sure it works and then bring it to whoever needs it. But nobody here has that.
Oh, okay. So it's not this.
The de-evolution is separate. That's separate.
That's what we need to find.
That's happening, right?
Oh, okay.
So as a throw-in here, they have this nice little dark spot where you can introduce plot complications. So one of the things that can be done, and if one of you wants to volunteer for it, you're welcome to. But maybe one of the characters has a loved one who is in the early stages of Aromatic syndrome, and they're then more motivated to actually help find the cure.
I would imagine that we would want to learn more about the syndrome and
Yeah, I mean these doctors have their sacrifice would be in vain if we didn't take what they've learned back to Starfleet.
Yeah. I mean, for me, there's fellow Starfleet members. I want to help them out.
So do we want to, which piece do you want to try first? The gathering the specimens for the aromatic syndrome cure or the curing de-evolution cure?
I want the de-evolution cure.
Logic states that we should try to inoculate ourselves against the de-evolution.
And to obtain more help with finding the cure for aromatic syndrome.
Agreed.
So let's start with what is listed as option 3, curing de-evolution. Okay. It's the most difficult problem facing the crew.
Of course it is.
But only the best and brightest are accepted by Starfleet. So clearly you guys are capable of this,
Exactly.
right? So first...
All three of us.
all three of... Yeah, plus the psycho lady and the Neanderthals.
Yeah.
Correct.
Did you guys see that? All right, never mind. I'm good.
Zal's starting to
So first, we
seem
need
illogical.
to locate the source of the de-evolutionary phenomenon, which is a result of the unique and typically benign radiogenic properties of the planet. So in order to do this, here we go with one of these task things again. So our progress is 8. So we need 8 successes. Each person can only try twice. But if somebody gets a reason and science of a difficulty 3 or better, you just get it. You're able to determine the actual cause. So it is a reason and science task with a difficulty of 3 to just overcome it.
So if...
All right, Tivo, you got this.
Of course I have this. So Tevil's talents, one of them is analytical.
Tivo's talents.
Okay.
TT. Whenever I attempt a science task, I can purchase 1 or more D20s using momentum and re-roll my dice pool.
Cool. Now, when it says re-roll your dice pool, that is
All the
any number of the dice you just rolled, from 0 to all of them.
Okay.
So you don't have to re-roll them all. You choose how many, even if that number is 0.
So I'm going to use momentum.
Okay.
How many D20s will you purchase?
I'm going to purchase... I need 2, right, to succeed?
It is a difficulty of 3.
So let's purchase
Yeah,
That way
3.
you get 5 D20s.
Yeah,
Let's do 3.
Oh, snap. Use that momentum, yo.
that's right.
Get some more dice out the dice sack.
Oh, reached in the sack, baby.
Cool. Several of them are already on 20s.
And I need to... My reason... It's reason and science, correct?
Reason plus science. You're correct. What you got?
All successes.
All 5
All
successes?
5 are successes.
So you will generate 2 momentum, and you immediately identify the cause. And it is... You find that the stuff between the radiogenic properties of the planet and the ion storm that have been coming through, you see how these things come together. So you have successfully identified the cause. Next is studying the symptoms. This one is a control and medicine task. You study those who are affected, so you can study Jasper and what's her name,
Heidi.
the doctor.
Skip.
And to see how their living cells are affected by the phenomenon. So it's control plus medicine with a difficulty of 3.
Would you like some momentum?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Let's do 3 again. Let's just do it up.
Well,
Do we? Yeah? No? Yeah.
I don't know if that works because you don't have analytical.
What?
That's just
What part
re-rolling. And
That was re-rolling, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
can-
but I could buy a...
you
Yes.
can buy momentum.
Oh, you
Yes,
can?
yep.
Okay.
You want to do 3 again?
Yeah, let's... I need 1 more 20.
So you get to roll 5. Here.
You can get them from the sack.
Do you want to go in the sack?
I got something.
He's going to go in his own bag.
I got something.
He doesn't like
He's
my
going to reach
sack.
into his own sack.
Okay, so this is create opportunity, and the most you can buy is 3.
Yeah.
But analytical says she can buy as many as she wants.
It's just 1 or more.
Plus, you can re-roll. Yeah, she can re-roll.
Well, she still would have whatever the default limit is, so it would be 3 as
Oh,
well.
would it?
Yeah.
That's weird.
But as long as she does 1 or more, then she can re-roll it.
And I wonder if I should use a determination. And
I think you got it. You only need 3.
I know, but still.
You're rolling 5?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It could go
Use a
bad.
determination.
It could.
I'm gonna
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make
So
sure.
you automatically get 2.
All right. So this.
And this is where the rules come in. Yes, you put 1 dice down, or 1 die down on the 1. Now
Okay.
you have 4 more. What you got?
It's a good thing you did that.
Yeah, because I got 2 more. So I got 4 successes.
All right, so you
No
generate
19s.
you generate
And
1
close.
more momentum out of that.
Yep. All right.
All
Glad I did
right.
that.
So you are now. This is also, by the way, I think what they call a gated challenge. In order to go from one step to the next, you have to
Must be
complete
successful.
the previous success. Complete the previous task. Right. And again, just as a rules note, the way this one would work is, say you had failed it, then the next thing, which we're about to go into, devising a cure, the difficulty of that would go up by 1.
Okay, gotcha.
So because now you've studied the symptoms and you've studied them well, devising a cure for it has its own regular difficulty of 4. So this one's a little more difficult. The way this works is a character now uses the information of what causes it and what the symptoms are to devise a means of stopping and reversing the effects. What they show here is bravery plus medicine or bravery plus science with a difficulty of 4. Now remember, people can assist. We didn't do that yet, but you have your determination points, your momentum pool, and the ability to assist. When you assist, you determine how you're assisting. You roll a single D20. If you are successful on that D20, it adds to the leader's success.
So it's bravery plus
Medicine or bravery plus science.
What do you got?
I've got bravery 7, medicine 3, so that would be 10. What do you
have for bravery?
Or science.
What does Yolan have for bravery?
12.
He seems like he'd be a
Yolan
brave
has
guy.
a 10 for bravery.
But science and medicine? What do you
Science and medicine are both a 2, so it's 12.
I would be at a
That's not too
15
bad.
for bravery and medicine.
Yeah.
So maybe you should roll and then we assist.
You could assist, yeah.
That sounds like a good idea. So now you guys can use the same thing to assist, or if you can BS your way into something different. That's
There's
all you need to
always
do.
something to learn. I want to use one of my values that there's always something to learn, and
Okay.
this is definitely outside my skill set, and I am going to analyze how they are doing what they're doing.
So here's the tricky part. When you're assisting, you don't buy momentum to assist. And it's when you buy momentum with your value that you generate momentum. So
Okay.
since you're not the leader, I don't think the value matters mechanically.
Okay,
The first time it could have worked.
my bad.
Yeah. No, you got it right. The problem is you're not running it. You're not the leader.
Fair
so
enough.
your values don't matter to his success in this case.
Your value doesn't matter.
Your values have
So
no
what
value
is it?
here.
What number are you shooting for?
12 or less.
12? Okay.
So that's bravery and science or medicine, which is both a 2.
Okay.
So
Now, like I say, you can make it anything else. The person who's doing it is going to be doing bravery and science or bravery and medicine. How are you assisting? You could just be giving him motivation. You could be giving him a pep talk or something.
I actually want to check what con is.
Yeah, I was
again.
going to say, or even some
Con
engineering
is
thing,
like
yeah.
navigation, piloting on a ship. It's that type of thing.
That's
Yeah.
so yeah. I have some engineering I could use.
Some of
so
the systems here.
along
like-
with what? Is that bravery and engineering? Is
Bravery and engineering. So engineering
Yeah.
is like discussing the best means of like a syringe or
That, oh, sure. Yeah. That seems reasonable.
Or making an aerosol or whatever, how
Yeah.
we could apply this cure.
So roll the one
Should
die.
should it be
You just
topical?
roll one
Yeah.
die for this one, JJ.
Okay.
It's one die, and if you are successful, then yours will add to his success when it matters.
One success.
All right, so you have that one can add, and then Teevil.
So Teevil will use reason. She studied the symptoms, figured out the cause, had observed Zhao
So
as he
yeah.
figured out the ingredients, and
he's doing sciencey stuff too.
he's
so,
doing
yeah.
sciencey stuff. So after careful observation of your emotions, I have determined that perhaps the sequence of the events, or the sequence in which you combine the ingredients, has an effect.
Okay, so this is reason and science.
Yeah.
All right, so what are you shooting for?
Reason 11, science 5.
Okay, is it 16 or lower?
16 or lower. Come on, baby, a 5.
All right, so now, Zhao, as long as you roll at least one success, you get 2 more
Oh, okay.
because of their assistance. But if you fail completely, their assistance doesn't matter. So you
And you had already used the No, you had not.
you have a difficulty of 4 for this.
That's kind of rough.
So 2 successes means a success.
We can
Right.
do this.
I can use some momentum to get some more dice in there.
Absolutely.
You sure
Okay.
can.
So I definitely
Up
want
to
that.
3. Now, I will let you know. Now, granted, you'll still have 4 momentum left there, but I will let you know that the next one, the last step, is administering the cure, and that is also going to be a difficulty of 4, just to get you prepped for it.
Maybe we'll use 2.
Spoiler alert, if you will.
Some 2 momentum.
Spoiler.
Now, how do I use the values?
All right, so if your value matches and you spend any...
Momentum.
and you purchase any additional dice, I think is the way it goes.
Which we are.
Then you automatically will get 1 momentum back.
Okay. I will
So-
do that because the only acceptable losses are none. That's the value.
All right. So you want to cure everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
We're
There are
just-
no acceptable
not
losses.
losing these people.
So in this case, you're spending the 2 momentum, right?
Correct.
So once you do that, you don't have to succeed to get the 1 back for following your values. So you'll get 1 back.
Okay.
Technically, it's not back. You get 1. But
Right, yeah.
So it's buy one, get one free.
Yeah. Sounds
It's a
good.
BOGO.
The reason that it matters differently is you could have gotten the extra die by doing a threat instead of a momentum.
Oh, gotcha.
And you get a momentum because
Right.
it followed your value.
All right. Makes sense.
So now how many dice are you rolling?
Got 4.
4 dice, and you have 2 successes to add to whatever you've gotten there. Let's see.
And I need just 15 or less.
All right.
And no 18s.
11, 4,
There's a
13,
1.
and 1. Yeah, I crushed it.
That is
Crushed
All right,
it.
so now let's add them up because you'll have 2 more on top.
total of 5 successes.
So you are going to generate 1 more momentum because you needed 4.
Right. Correct.
Plus
And then
the R2.
plus
Oh,
the
all right. So then that's 2 more. Okay. When you said total, I thought total. So yes, you got all of them. You're back up to 9 momentum. Y'all are crushing it. All right. So now
All right, you're feeling good.
Good job, team.
you
Good
have
job.
now created a cure for the devolution, and now you need to figure out how to administer it. First,
Definitely an aerosol.
an aerosol.
Aerosolize
Yeah,
it.
then we have to get too close. Just like spray it.
Spray it.
You have 2 options. Individual cures, meaning go around to each patient, which would then involve a roll for each patient, or a mass curative, which would be jury-rigging a device to generate a pulse that counteracts the phenomenon. This is a big
You're good
thing.
at the jury rig, right?
Engineering.
Engineering.
Okay.
Yeah, make it happen.
So I'll tell you what the 2 options are. When you're individually curing, it will require a roll of a difficulty of 1 for each patient. Now, you've got however many, including yourselves, now, because you're all exposed. So that's a lot of rolls. Or,
So we could just do the singles for us and the 2 people in the room, and then do the mass.
well, the mass
separate?
would work for everyone as well.
Yeah. Okay.
And then that one is bravery and engineering with a difficulty of 4 to complete, which will then start affecting everyone within range. So anyone who comes close enough to
a
it.
pulse.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it sounds like that's what you guys want to do, all or nothing.
All or
Yeah,
nothing.
that's
All or nothing.
So we're going to go with the mass curative. Go ahead, JJ, if you would like to describe what device you might jury rig.
We can assist,
So I
though, right?
find I'm going to look for
Oh, yeah, you
some
guys
kind
can
of
assist.
broadcast system, and based off how she was describing how the ion storm pulses, and it has gamma waves in it.
Okay.
And the gamma waves are what's actually causing the mutation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to
Hulk
use
like.
beta waves
to offset the
to
gamma
offset
waves.
it and decrease the aggression of
Okay.
the primates.
I'm going to assist you.
Okay.
It's actually
You're going
the
to
same
assist
thing.
as well?
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to figure out how you're going to assist. Now, remember, this task is bravery and engineering, so you could definitely use that. But if you want to talk your way into whatever else,
Right.
go ahead and talk your way into assisting however else you want.
Well,
Because
at the
you all
academy,
have skills, yeah.
I studied quantum mechanics.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I can assist you with putting together this machine, use my knowledge
Heck
of
yeah.
mechanics and
You know
and
the right
science.
wavelength for
Absolutely.
each wave. And
The correct hertz.
The
to
correct
broadcast
frequency.
that.
Yeah, the
you
correct
want it to not
frequency.
hurt a lot.
Yes.
I want it to hurt a little, or as little as possible. So what number are you going to shoot at them?
That's reason and science, right? That's the sweet spot.
Sounds like it. Sounds like you're reasoning your way into using science. And was
That
that
wins.
16 normally, right?
It's a 16, correct?
You rolled 14.
I rolled
That
a
works.
14.
And Zhao, how are you finding a way to assist with the with the creation of this device that will generate a beta pulse?
Yeah, since you've already taken the frequency away. That's what I was going to use.
Well, maybe you can correct the Vulcan.
No one corrects the Vulcan.
Well, technically, if we're using gamma waves, which also affects Alzheimer's, which I recently found out. Actually,
Yeah.
might have to add like a light pulse to it, like a flash of light in as well.
Well done.
Yeah,
Now, what
Your logic
attribute
is
and skill are
irrefutable.
you using?
that would have to be medicine, and for that would probably have to be reason, I guess. Maybe control. I could pull. I don't know how that will work.
I don't see why not. I mean, control is the measured amount.
Yeah,
Right.
Control and medicine.
Okay.
So I'm just rolling one. Is that how it
Yeah,
works
you
for this?
roll one, and as long as you
13
are
or less.
successful.
7.
Awesome.
All right. So now, for Yolan, provided you have any successes, you will add 2 more to it.
Would you like to purchase any momentum? Use
I'm
momentum.
actually going to use another determination.
Yeah.
That gives you
definitely.
2, which means you guys will be successful with this. Let's see how far above and beyond.
So I introduced a complication for you.
Okay.
Um,
Was your bravery in something? Or
but yeah, it's two successes, so 3 successes total. So
3 plus the 2 more,
Plus
that's
2 is
5. So you will generate 1 momentum, and we will introduce a complication. I'm going to take that as a threat. Mickey just handed me a red token. I don't think that is technically right, but I've been
So
doing
give it
that
back.
to make it. You can do that if you want.
Give it back.
taking them all back.
So in this case, as soon as you have it completed successfully, which you have, interestingly enough, the complication would have been a lot easier to use at any of the previous steps. At the very last one, it's on now because you were successful. So anyone affected stops transforming immediately, and for anyone who got affected during the primitive fears section, like Zhao did, the penalty is removed now. So you no longer have the complication on the 19 or 20. Others are going to begin returning to themselves, although this will take hours, maybe even days, depending on how far along they've gone. You determine this pulse goes out a couple of kilometers from the science station, therefore as soon as they get anywhere nearby, even this probably reaches to the shuttle because it said the shuttle crashed a kilometer away.
yeah,
So it's going to affect everybody. Let's see. And you'd also determine that the cure itself won't be permanent. It'll just hold back the phenomenon for a few days. Anybody should get removed from the planet to be permanently cured. Right. Next, did you want to do the aromatic syndrome?
yeah, aromatic syndrome.
All right.
After all.
That one, based on Dr. Skip's knowledge and notes, there are 3 species native to the planet that have genetic potential to treat the diseased. But if undeveloped specimens are not found and removed from the planet soon, the cure will be lost because storms and stuff on the planet are messing with it. So in order to gather these specimens, you know exactly now what types of flora and fauna, it actually says it, must be collected to have a viable sample for study. You now need to venture out into the storm in order to collect these samples. They're only found deeper in the wilderness of the planet, so you can't collect them just walking your way back to the shuttle. You actually have to go out and about. There are 3 samples to be located and collected. However, the phenomenon affecting the scientists also affects the plants and animals, and that's where she's saying you have to find stuff that isn't mutated yet. This is a challenge with a minimum of 6 tasks. They're split into 2 types, locating and collecting samples.
Now, is it going to be slightly easier because we are mitigating the effects of the mutation now?
I am going to say no, because it's not accounted for. And all you're doing is starting to reverse the process. Anything that was mutated will still be mutated, but might not be in a day or 2. But you don't want to hang around for a day or 2 because that's when it starts picking back up. Right. So I think based on that description, no.
Okay.
All right, a minimum of 6 tasks. So you need to have, in order to locate the samples, it's empathy or reason plus science with a difficulty of 2. This is to locate a sample.
Right,
Who
that
wants
sounds
to
like
start
a job
looking?
for Devel.
I can start.
Okay. So you need to be able to you need to locate and collect 3 samples. So locating first for the first sample. This is going to be a little mechanic here, I'm sure. We're going to be paying attention to numbers. So we need to locate 3, and then somebody needs to collect the 3 that have been located.
That's the same skills to you.
Collection is bravery or control and science. Location is empathy or reason and science.
So I'm going to, this aligns quite well with one of my values, which is finding order in the chaos of the unknown.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're in the middle of that right now.
Yeah.
I am in the middle of that.
The chaos.
Of the chaos and the unknown.
So are you going
and
to...
I'm going to use some momentum. I need 3.
You need, in order to locate a sample, it is a difficulty of 2, but you need to do that 3 times.
Eek.
And it doesn't need to be just you. It can be split around.
Bear in mind, you also get to re-roll because
of the value. Yeah.
And you're getting that, and you're getting that momentum back because of the value
when you buy one. So
should I use 2?
You can only use your value once in a task that does the same thing. So you couldn't use a value all 3 times.
Okay.
You use it one time.
Yeah.
So use it for the first one.
I'll use it 1 momentum.
Yep.
Yeah.
3.
And you need 2 successes.
Actually, I'm determined.
Are you?
I am determined.
Are you going to use a determination point?
Yeah.
Okay. So use a determination point, and you will have 2 successes plus... Any others?
Yeah. Amazing.
So you got 2
2 more.
Okay, so that means you get 2 momentum.
Plus another one
plus
for the
one
value.
more because
For the
you
value.
use a value.
Yep. 1 specimen has been located. Let's have somebody get that. Let's have someone collect that sample. It is bravery or control plus science with a difficulty of 3.
Put me at a 13.
I'm at a 12.
Okay.
I will try to collect.
Okay. So it is a difficulty of 3.
I'll use a determination point.
And we can also, excuse me,
Get an extra die.
you guys can assist as well. Remember that. They can assist any time as long as you can justify how you're assisting.
Am I driving the 4-wheeler for him? Like the little...
I don't think there is a vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good question. I mean,
Maybe
there's no
you
account
jury-rigged a
for it,
scanner,
but
some scanning
let's
system.
say, yeah. I mean, anything mechanical, sure.
You
I
tweak
think,
the tricorder to like find specific.
yeah, I would say just short of a vehicle, pretty much anything mechanical. Why not? Yeah.
We found tricorders.
So
here.
what are you rolling?
Awesome.
What are you shooting at?
Well, I was shooting at a 12, but I rolled a 1. So how does that work for
You were
assistant?
successful. That's all it means in this
Oh.
case. Yeah. So your success can add to his now, as long as he has any.
And I got a determination, so I got the automatic.
So he's got 3
All right,
so
so you
far.
got
in case
2.
I burn this up.
You got it. Yeah. And
You got that's I got the 2 plus. So yeah, it works.
We got 3 still.
Yeah,
so
we're
you got
good.
3. So your other rolls were not so
Yeah,
good.
yeah. So I'm glad
All
I
right.
did that, yeah.
So then that is 1 sample located and collected.
All right.
So where I was saying this is a minimum of 6 tasks, it's because each one locate and collect is
Just
2,
2,
and you
right.
have to do that 3 times.
All right, I'm going
So
to
now let's
attempt-
locate another one. Again, assist anywhere. The whole point of it is if you happen to roll a 20 on an assist, then it does introduce a complication.
So I'm going to piggyback off the pulse that we're sending out.
Yeah.
I'm going to piggyback off the pulse, and anywhere I notice like a feedback pulse from my pulse, that's where it's fixing the problem.
Okay.
So I'm going to look for these feedback pulses.
And direct her to where the non-mutated plants are based
Exactly.
on that. Yes.
Or in other words,
Does that work? I mean,
where,
sure.
where they're at will have a feedback pulse. So I'm going to look for where they're not at.
Yeah, because we want
Yeah.
stuff that's not muted.
Yep.
Success.
All right. Go
So
for
now
it.
I am going
Remember,
to attempt.
it's a difficulty of 2 to locate. So you
I'm
only
going
need
to-
2.
I'm going to use my momentum
Yep.
to, again, my analytical talents.
Okay.
So that's 3 d20s to
Yep.
be rolled.
And
Oh,
again,
that's
3
awesome.
successes
So-
again.
So now, here's
total
one
of
thing.
4
Because you did
successes.
analytical, you can re-roll. Do you want to re-roll one to see if you get a 1 out of it?
No, because then
Because
you
you-
could also get a fail.
Well,
I could also get
you
a
could,
failure.
right. But you generate the extra momentum already.
So we have 4 successes over the 2.
Yep.
So that's 2 momentum generated.
I would
Yep.
just hold steady.
I'm
on
going to
that.
hold steady.
Yeah, cowards.
Cowards.
We're Starfleet cadets. We play it straight.
You're trying, right? I know the regulation.
All right,
All right, so now we've located the second sample. Now we got to collect it. Now collecting
It's
again is a
3.
difficulty of 3.
So now that I know,
Can we assist?
Yes.
Now
We
that
can
I know
assist.
where he's headed, I'm going to focus the pulsing that way.
And
Okay.
I'm going to assist by drawing him a picture.
I do not succeed in my help though.
Nope.
You are
didn't roll
no
a
help.
20, did you?
Huh?
You didn't roll a 20?
I did not roll.
Must be the ion storm.
It is.
I'm going to assist him.
So if he, I mean, maybe you're collecting it from a plant or animal at this time. Maybe it's the right way to cut the spleen out of a mutated frog or something.
Correct.
Yes. Give me some
Ew.
diagrams.
Well, that's not a 20.
It didn't work out.
No.
All right, so I will use.
You're
give
not
me-
getting any help.
Give me 2 momentum, so I get 2 dice in here.
And,
All right. And
and your last one?
No, don't do it.
so you're rolling 4?
Hold it.
Yeah, I need
Hold
3 though.
You need 3
Need
out of
3.
4.
Yeah, I'm gonna burn it just to get
All
the
right.
extra last one. The extra.
You just wait until that shuttle needs to be repaired. You're
No
going to be no
shit.
help at all.
Hey, well, that's not my
No,
thing.
there-
Really. It's not my bad.
there's still
It's
some
not my bag, baby.
All right,
All
so
right.
that's 4 successes.
That's 4 successes.
So you
Awesome.
generate a momentum then.
Awesome.
So now you have 2 samples collected. Let's go on to locate the third sample.
All right. I'm going to shake off the stench of failure in that last roll. Use a momentum.
It turns out you don't have any idea what the biology of a frog is.
I'm gonna see if I could assist her in an area to locate some by noticing what the type of plant we need,
Yep.
and they follow a certain specific, I don't know, like
A s-
landscape
landscape
area,
area.
Yes.
region.
Okay.
So that's just 1 die for that, right?
Yes, you
I would
roll
use
1. Now,
the
yeah.
control and medicine I could probably pull off with that. Would that work?
I'll see why not. Sure.
All right.
I would add those together.
Ooh.
Choose
Bam!
1.
It's a 1.
So 1. It
which
still
is a
only
success.
counts as you
Yeah,
will
that's
add
okay.
1 to hers.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Here I go.
Go for it. What you get?
Reroll.
I get to re-roll this one.
If you're still being all analytical. Did
Yes.
you bought a die, right?
I
With the
did.
momentum, okay.
So it's a 2, a 10, and a 9. So that's 3 successes.
Plus
9.
the 1.
Plus the 1.
So
Now,
you get-
because she's using biology,
And I rolled a 2.
It's an extra.
Yeah,
Is that extra?
gives you an extra success. It does, yes. It was within your focus.
So
yes.
that's 1, 2, 3,
4.
4, 5.
So you generate 3 momentum out of that.
Did I already put
Yeah.
one there?
Nope.
Y'all are going crazy. Now, if I remember right, one thing that we haven't done right, I believe the momentum pool can't go over 6 or something like that.
Oh,
I
we
think
haven't.
there's a number for it.
We're
Right.
gone way over.
I think there's a number that it can't go past. I just haven't looked it up, and I'm guessing you guys aren't willing to look that up. But
No, we'll just.
Regulations.
but once we're done with this one, I might. So you've located the third sample.
And I will go out and fetch it.
You'll go out and fetch it. Do you want some
All right.
momentum? Here, use 3 momentum since we have momentum to
Okay.
burn.
Use all 6.
Just let's go. There, you can only use 3 though.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what we're using.
Right. When he said use all 6. All right.
And
Get in
I'll
there,
be
so-
using bravery and science.
Okay.
Does anyone want to assist me?
Yeah, I'd
Well,
like
hold
to
on.
see if I can get some-
Collecting.
It's
Yes,
collecting.
bravery or hold on a second.
Since I've been doing most of the collecting,
Should I
I'll
do
show
it?
you how
Yes.
you should
Bravery
prune it
and
from the
science.
plant
Exactly.
and stuff. Okay.
For the difficulty of 3.
That is a nope. Barely missed it.
I'll
Sorry.
assist you.
Please.
Quite well, actually,
And
As to be expected.
good.
as to be expected.
That's a lot of dice. You need 3.
I have 1, 2, plus her third.
That's 3.
And that's all I got. Oh, no, I got 3. So 1. But we're not going to add any more momentum.
All right, we're not, because I did just find it, and this is on page 10. No more than 6 points of momentum may be saved into the pool at any one time.
So we need to start
let's,
burning.
Yeah, let's just go down to 6.
Touching my momentum pool.
Sorry.
Rule.
Oh, sorry. I knew this, and it only occurred to me as I'm looking at 50 momentum stacked in the middle of the table. There is a limit to your momentum. All right, so you guys now have found, located, and collected those samples, the specimens that are needed. Now the last thing to do
Is to get the parts.
is to find the parts for the ship. You must find replacement parts for the shuttle in the science outpost. Damage to the outpost is significant, but there are many salvageable parts around, of course. This one is another one of those tasks that we have a progress meter And it is, we need to have 13 total successes.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah. Well, it's not as far as the first one, but 13 total successes. You may only have 3 tasks each, and the difficulty to overcome is 4.
Jeez.
So it's another difficult one. The default task for this is reason and engineering, but there are other possibilities, of course, like reason and con for covering knowledge of propulsion and power systems, also control and science. Other ideas may occur to the players. Any reasonable suggestion will be considered. And let's get started. So we've got now, you need to reach 13 total successes or somebody getting a difficulty of 4 or better to get right over it.
All right. Well, I will attempt to use my talent called Further and Faster.
Okay.
It's whenever I use something involving my con skill,
Yeah.
which is something you said was okay.
Yep. It's another alternative.
I can buy 1 or more D20s by adding to the threat pool.
Yep.
And I can re-roll D20s.
All right. So how many do you want to buy?
I want to buy 3. I think.
Good gosh,
Good
man.
God, man.
I'm going to have to use these then.
And I'll also be using
I have to figure out what the hell to do.
You take off and the shuttle explodes.
Yeah, boom.
Overheats.
Done.
And you did it. You used determination.
Yes.
So that's
yes.
2. Do you want assistance?
So he's going to find the right parts right away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm going to assist you. Do you want me to assist you?
If you can. Yeah. How are you going to assist me?
That's a good question.
Given
That looks like a Hydra spanner.
Well, given the intense studies at the academy, I made sure that I really understood how our shuttles were put together, because I knew hanging out with you, YOLO, I would end up on a planet where we would have to fix it.
Okay.
So I have intimate knowledge of how those shuttles.
She was prepared for this contingency.
I was prepared for this contingency.
Okay, go for it. And what are you using? Reason
and engineering,
Okay.
which is 13. I rolled a 6.
There you go.
Or is that a 9?
It's a 9.
It's a
Either way
9.
it works.
Good to
Either
go.
way it works.
Yeah. Still
way
a
we
single
were good.
digit. JJ has all the D20s.
So 4 successes, 5 successes, 6 successes, 7
7
successes.
Okay. Unfortunately, you generate no momentum because you're full of momentum.
Exactly.
Definitely
Or
full
just
of
full
it.
of it.
We're full of it.
However, you are successful. You are, between the two of you, you're able to find the parts that you need to fix the problems on the ship, on the shuttle. Let's see. All right, so we got that. Let me look at now. You have the return trip. We go on to the next scene. I don't think anybody's been injured.
No.
Now, here's one thing with the momentum that we're going to do, because when I went and looked it up, I have this stuff in front of me now. At the end of each scene or each full round of combat, which we're not in, the momentum pool goes down by 1. So we just ended a scene, so momentum goes down by 1. So on the return trip, we could probably finish this up soon, so let's just keep rolling.
Rolling.
So you have used the mass curative solution. So
Correct.
those pulses are going out there.
Mass healing.
Yes, you have created a mass heal. And I'm just looking at this here, what you're going to fight next. Because you are fighting next. There's one
Now,
fight on the way
did the
out.
science station have a phaser I could use?
Even
Nah,
armor.
everything was wrecked.
Everything
Except
was
for the parts to fix the shuttle, of
Okay,
course.
okay.
Right.
If you can find that Neanderthal that had the phaser swinging around, you could probably get it off him.
You know what? Let's go there, because one of the things that can happen here is Neanderthals that are out of range of the mass thing can try to ambush you guys on the way back. So let's try it, just for kicks. Let's throw a couple of Neanderthals at you guys.
We're going to die.
Yeah, probably. This will be what finishes you off, right?
There are no losses. I will not accept that.
Will not accept it. But because it was your idea, Chris, I'll let Zhao go first. You see up ahead of you with one of the Neanderthals, the guy waving the phaser around, and another one, and it looks like they're just kind of walking up ahead of you on the path. They haven't seen you yet.
All right, I'll see if I can stun them with a phaser
Okay.
shot.
And we wrote that down. What was the range attack again?
Range
It was
is
Control and security.
Yeah,
With a difficulty of 2.
You got it.
which is my bread and butter, I guess, for this character.
Okay. So you just shoot people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course, I could buy a momentum for.
Set your
Next
phaser
dude.
to stun.
Yeah, sure. We'll give it. Start tossing the extra.
Add
No,
another
just
guy.
like momentum.
All right, 14 or less. Oh, I crushed it. Crushed. All right, so it's 2, 3. It's the 3 successes, but I got another one because of the focus. So
Yep.
Cool.
4 successes.
4 successes. And it was a difficulty of
somebody
2,
grab me
so we
a
have an extra 2
pencil?
momentum.
Yeah.
Chris, behind you should be something. You guys are using yours. I'd like to have one of my own.
You want a pencil of your own?
Yeah.
Where
There
am I
should be a bucket. Not a bucket, but I'll use Mickey's for now while you look around.
Is it this?
Because I want to mark these 2 guys. Did you want to shoot the one with the phaser?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, I guess I can do the effect, right? I can
Well,
get 2
you
technically.
do need to roll, so let's see.
So we have 2 momentum since he had awesome success.
Right, yeah, correct.
Yeah, you will get the. You
All right,
still
so,
generate.
So
that.
5 and 6s are effects, right?
Yeah. Did you get any 1s or 2s?
No, I got no damage. I got all effects.
Okay. So now you get to pick the effects that happen there. Now, if I remember right,
So
you
it's
can
charge.
change.
Wow, 4. Yeah, I got 4.
You can
effects.
trade an effect for damage.
Yeah, I'll probably do that. I guess I want to do area to get both of them.
Okay.
So it uses up the 2 charges, and then the rest can be damage, I guess.
Okay.
So I can do 3 damage. Is that how it would work out then?
We're going to
Or one
say
for an
yes,
effect.
just
One
to
for-
expedite it.
One effect, yeah, one for
Yeah.
effect for area, and the rest just pure damage.
Okay, you got them. So the one with the phaser, he has the chance to shoot. Because I'm trying to use up or trying to figure out a way to use the threat, I can spend 2 to allow him to fire the phaser once and see if it hits, and it'll just go right back at Zhao. Same thing. He's going to have the same roll as you did, and I don't think that's going to hit. Oh, no, it will because I rolled a 1, so I got 2 successes there. So his phaser. Now, how many dice was it for the phaser?
Mine's a type 2 phaser.
Oh, hold on. His is a damaged type 1, so I roll 3
So it's
dice
4.
for that.
It's 4 CD.
This is
But it's
damage.
He
damaged.
rolls 3
Yeah, it's
because it's damaged.
Okay.
I have 1 6. So let's let him do 1 damage to you.
Okay.
Is that 1
So it's
stress?
1 stress.
Yeah, 1
let's
stress. Yeah.
put that here
So you get shot.
Pew!
And now it goes back to you guys. One of you 2 goes next.
I want to take off in a sprint
Okay.
and
gonna
do a
truck 'em?
flying punch to the face.
So you're doing the melee attack. We have
Yes.
to do that then. Melee is what?
Bravery plus security with a difficulty of 1 for the attacker and 1 for the defender.
Okay, so I have 10 that I'm rolling against. And I have 2 successes. I have an 8 and a
Uh-oh.
9.
I will spend a momentum.
Okay. You got to get 3 or what you got?
I have 2 successes.
2
So
successes.
even
So
so nothing happens.
just go into fisticuffs a little
Yeah.
bit for now. Nothing happens.
There's a bit of a tussle.
Yes, exactly. There's a bit of a toss. The
Ooh,
scene,
wait.
you run up to the guy and you're both like
Yeah.
arm locked or something, and just dun, 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 dun.
Given that given that he's dancing with the Neanderthal, could I run up and Vulcan neck pinch the Neanderthal to incapacitate him?
Sure.
Let's
Let's do
technically
it.
be their. Would it be their turn again? Like,
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
But
It's their turn.
I'm just going to let that other guy. He was only able to shoot once, so I'm just going to let him now throw the rock he's got in his other hand at you. And I roll a 20 and an 18. That's not good.
Yeah.
So we're just going to say that
That means we get a momentum, right?
the guy.
when you
Now,
roll 20s.
now, I get a complication.
Yeah.
You don't get a momentum. Damn. That guy, the one that he doesn't have grabbed, just drops his rock and runs away.
All right.
He's now out of the picture.
That happens sometimes.
Yes, he didn't even take his toy and go home. He just went home. He left the toy. All right, and then last, you want to try and neck
I'm
pinch
going to
the guy
Vulcan
he's
neck
holding.
pinch the guy that he's dancing with.
All right. So it's still, I think it's melee.
It's
for
still
you, but you
melee
get
for
to
me.
roll different.
Correct.
Now, I
So
still have the same thing. I
with
don't know if
Vulcan
this...
neck pinch.
Oh, my. That's not good for you.
wait, hold on.
I rolled a 1 and an 8, which means I have 3 successes.
So according to the character sheet, Vulcan neck pinch Teevil
Yeah?
has learned numerous anatomical techniques that can be used to swiftly and non-lethally incapacitate assailants.
So we had Elmer Fudd meet up with Daffy Duck here. So we have
Swiftly.
very bad things in your surroundings.
And
there's
nominally
incapacitated.
Incapacitate assailants. The profile for this attack is listed below. The character may use science instead of security, making a nerve pinch attack, and increases damage by the character's science skill instead of security.
Okay.
And the nerve pinch is...
JJ, you should assist because you're holding on to the guy.
That's true.
You're holding on to the
You
guy.
should be able to maneuver him around so that she can reach the neck.
Distraction.
Assisting.
Okay.
And then use some momentum for it.
I'm going to use a momentum.
Yeah.
So 3.
Because I got 3 already, so
Yeah.
you've got to get 4 in order for it to work.
That's true.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
You actually got it because you got 3 and he had 1.
Yep.
Plus she
correct.
is focused, doesn't she?
Nice, but it didn't hit the focus, I don't think, right?
No.
Because biology would be the focus.
Biology
here, if
is the
anything.
focus, not science.
And you didn't get a 2.
Correct.
All right.
Wait, I have got
But wait,
anthropology.
there's more.
Anthropology is the study of humans.
Yeah. What is that focus?
Yeah.
A 3?
It's a 3.
All right, yeah, so that would work. So you would actually be ahead by another one and generate 1 momentum from that.
Perfect.
Awesome sauce.
So the
So-
guy, he passes out
All right.
under the Vulcan neck pinch.
Correct.
And conveniently, the phaser drops right into your hand. Which
It's damaged, though.
it is damage. If when using that, you will roll 3 dice instead of 4.
Okay.
Okay. Otherwise, it's the same. And just as the phaser drops into your hand, you hear a howl from the woods from what is apparently a very large cat. It looks like a panther, but it is a panther from another planet, if you will, because it's from this planet. It's
So it's a displacer beast.
it's a Xerxes panther.
Xerxes Panther, yeah.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure it's the puma.
And for those who know a little bit about biology, perhaps, you know that the Xerxes panther is the elite hunter at the top of the food chain in the Xerxes system. And it is now between you and your ship.
Shoot it.
Yeah. We have to see
And-
if we can scare this thing off.
It is on the prowl. Let's just say to set up the scene, as it lopes into the area, it drops the Neanderthal that it had just grabbed that ran away on the ground and just looks up menacing at you guys with blood dripping from its teeth.
I hope he's okay.
I think it's dead.
Bad kitty.
Can't lose
Bad
anybody.
kitty.
I'm going to let you guys go first. Let's let the one who just got the phaser in his hand go first. Go ahead, Yolin.
All right. I
YOLO.
will attempt to shoot said panther.
Okay.
Maybe you should aim.
And that is
Oh, guess what? This has soak. Haha.
Of course it does.
nice.
Yeah. This one could last for a little bit.
You should aim.
I have 1 success. That
Yeah,
is not going to be
That is
Two.
not going to hit.
Range
No.
need to.
Pew!
But I would like to
Uh-oh.
keep the initiative.
Okay. So you'll
So-
spend a momentum to pass it on to.
Pass
All
it
right.
on to our sharpshooter here.
I will
Go,
aim,
Joe.
so I get to re-roll in case
Okay.
I drop the ball on this one. All right, so control.
No ball
security,
dropper, you be.
US. So I'm good. Yep, 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay.
Nothing under my focus, though.
2 successes, then roll your damage. Or roll the dice that could indicate damage.
All right, that's 3 points of damage and 1 effect. I'll do, I think I can do what is vicious, is extra damage.
Okay. But I think it's 2 effects for damage or something like that, isn't it?
So the 5s and 4s are effects?
3s and 4s are nothing. 5 and 6
yeah,
are
2 5s, and like I had 3 damages and then
Yep.
2 effects. But I think I could do, because I can just add, yeah, jeez.
Let me see.
Or I can do the piercing to ignore the,
Yeah, that's a good point. I would do that.
ignores the total points that the target said. It would take 2 off the soak. Is that how it would work?
I'm assuming it would be you have what you had 2 effects. Yes, that's a good point. Yeah. So that means that 2 of them would get through.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Let's do that.
All right.
And it's a good thing you mentioned that because I had already marked all 3, and it's not really 3; it's just 2. Okay.
All right.
So you shot it, and now it pounces forward at. Let's see who's going to get this one. You.
Oh, fantastic.
T-Vol. The panther jumps forward towards you, and it's going to be a melee attack. So we have that again, and it
Opposing.
is
Opposing melee.
Yeah, but what was it again? Because I don't remember.
Bravery and security.
Bravery and security.
Difficulty of 1 for both the attacker and the defender.
All right, so I have a
But when it's
I have a
opposed-
15 that I'm rolling against.
You might want to
here.
get some momentum up in this.
I am going to get some momentum up in this business. How about some determination?
All right, so here's the deal.
Yeah, that would work.
And the Panther also has a focus of melee 2, which means I have 3 successes.
So if I use momentum, can I use momentum and determination?
Yep.
Yep.
So momentum
Let's
gives
see
me
if
an
you can
extra
not
1.
Get hit.
And then you have one that's already down.
And there's one that's already a 1, so that's 2.
Yep.
But you're still rolling 3.
You need to get 3 or better.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Does
If
that
you
work?
get better than 3, you get an attack back on it.
Okay.
Because you're the target.
Recognizing that there's infinite diversity and infinite combinations in this planet, on this universe.
Infinitively.
You're still rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I'm rolling 2. I'm rolling 3. I used
But you made
determination to
one.
make
Yeah.
a 1,
And
a 20, and a 10.
so you're going to have a complication.
And it evens itself out.
What it does, that means
Yeah, you
it's
got-
even. However,
it's even, but you
what
have a
I'm going to
complication.
do with the complication is for the rest of this battle, all of your tasks are at a +1 difficulty.
Fine. He got me!
He did. You were able to not get injured, but I don't know, maybe you got a sprained ankle or something, and everything you're going to do is going to be a little more difficult for the rest of this scene. And now it goes back to you guys. I think
It is up to me. I will
Yonin.
use my minor action to aim
Yep.
and fire, since she is in. Since the cat is in combat with my comrade.
Yep. So you then get to re-roll 1, I guess, if you need to.
I do not.
So you have 2 successes?
I have 2 successes.
All right. So then you get to roll 3 dice.
That is 1 damage and 1 effect, and then the effect
So-
I'll choose will be penetration.
Yeah, you want that, definitely. Because if you don't, then you're not going to damage it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this one isn't going to run away, in my opinion, until it's half hurt, and it's not halfway to half hurt yet. So it'll take a little bit of time.
So it's tussling with.
Yeah, well, we'll go back to the Panther, and it's going to take another melee attack. It's going to try and bite you this time. The first time it was trying to knock you down. Now it's or melee claws. It was swiping at you with claws, but now that it's right next to you, it's going to try and bite you. So we're going to do another melee attack, and I have 1 success
Versus
you.
I get to roll.
Yep, you get to roll whatever that was, bravery and security, I think.
Yeah, but my Vulcan neck
But you're
pinch.
you're not on the offensive.
I'm on
You're
the defensive.
target. Yes.
Before we do this, because I made a successful attack last time,
Yep.
and I have close protection. After making a successful attack, you may expend 1 momentum to protect a single ally within close range. So
What
the
does
next attack
protect
against
mean?
that ally
Yep.
before the start of your next turn increases it, so your difficulty would go up by 1.
That means I would miss.
Okay, but I'd have to burn up the momentum off that.
Do
You
that.
could do that.
All right.
Plus, you're still going to roll because if you have 2 or more, you get an attack back.
Gotcha.
So let's see.
I got a 9 and a 17.
So I think you only got 1 then.
So that's only 1
Yeah.
success.
So then it's just it's a wash again. So it tries to bite you and it misses because it still has a plume of smoke from its shoulder from the phaser blast.
Is it my turn?
No, next. Well, actually, it goes
Was
back
it-
to you guys next.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah, it'd be me.
it's because you went,
Yep.
then
I'm gonna-
he went. Now Xiao.
Can I try to mount the mind meld?
Oh, that's definitely an unwilling creature.
That would be interesting.
It might be. There's no way you're going to kill it. So go ahead and take your turn, and then when it comes back to her, we'll see.
All right, how many we got? What 2? I don't want to burn any momentum then. All right, we'll just get straight up 2.
You still
Shoot
got
it.
determination? No, you
No,
used
I
yours.
burned all mine
Yeah.
up. I need 2. I need
You need to get
these,
2.
which I'm pretty good. Right?
Yeah.
No, my 1 success.
Nope.
So nothing.
You didn't aim?
Goes wide.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
and, well
aim.
then go ahead and aim. Roll it. Re-roll it.
Yeah.
You got it? Okay. So then roll that damage.
Forgot about that.
What you got?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
2 damage and 4. So I'll use. Okay.
So you'll get both damage through by piercing.
Yeah, I can use.
Okay.
I have 2 more effects. Can I do vicious to add extra damage to the other 2 that soak through, or how does that work? Or can I do knockdown maybe?
Yeah, let's do knockdown.
All right,
Sure, why not? You shoot it and it falls down.
sounds good.
Okay. So it has taken 5 damage now.
Yeah, and he's knocked down.
And it is currently knocked out.
Currently prone. Yeah.
So in order for it to do any movement that matters, that is its action, its task is to get up.
Yep.
So it won't be able to bite you or claw at you this time. But it gets up and is ready to pounce again.
Can I Vulcan
Now
neck
it's your
pinch
turn.
it?
Yep, now it's back to you.
Can I Vulcan neck
You can
pinch
certainly
it?
try. Let's see how that works. You got a
With
little
big pointy.
nasty shot.
I crush your head.
Oh yes, you can crush his little head.
Vulcan neck pinch.
All right, I shall roll, and I have 1 success, so you need to have 2 or better.
I'm determined.
Go for it.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
I'm determined to save my own skin. There go all my determinations.
I mean, after this is just fixing the shuttle and taking off.
No, it didn't work.
Did you get any?
I got just the 2 because I was determined.
All right, so then it does work, because I only had 1, and you
Yeah.
beat that.
All right. Good to go.
Awesome.
How does
All
that
right.
work?
And melee
That was worth it.
you needed 1 success in
So
melee, right?
it
And you
Yeah.
got 2,
Yeah.
so,
so
you
that,
generate
that's
a momentum.
7 dice that you're using for nerve pinch. That's 7. So
Now, before you do that, you had 2 successes and you only needed 1, so you generate a momentum. Make sure you grab that. All right. That's a lot of dice.
That is a lot of dice.
Take any 3s or 4s and just move them out of the way because they don't count.
I've got
1s
4.
And, 1s and 2s are damage.
So 3 damage.
Okay.
4
effects.
Okay, so you want to use 3, if you want to damage the thing, you want to use 3 of your effects to allow all 3 damage to go through. Because this has a soak of 3, so it would negate 3 damage.
So
there's that. Now, in addition to that,
I have 1 effect.
you
left
can
over.
have 1 effect. Chris has a handle on that
You
right
can do vicious for an extra damage, or intense is I don't know how this works. The attack is designed to inflict massive harm on the target, incapacitating them far more swiftly. The cost to resist an injury caused by an intense weapon increases by 1 for each effect rolled. I don't know how that really works.
I don't know
though.
that the Vulcan neck pinch actually is intense.
Yeah.
It is,
No.
actually. It is.
It is.
Intense
It's
is
intense.
one of the effects right on it. So let's just make this easy. You knock it out.
Yeah.
Because you rolled plenty good enough. The Panther is unconscious temporarily. It's probably a good time to sprint for the
We
shuttle.
need to get the heck out of here.
Yes. So now you arrive back at the shuttle. Everything is as you left.
Was
Go ahead.
the Starfleet guy, is he dead? Or can we-
Actually, you know what? You could probably grab him and bring him along.
Okay.
He's still breathing.
all right. Yeah.
You want to
just-
get somebody off the planet,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, right.
Might as well start there.
Yeah, right.
So you bring him along. The storm worsens as you are getting to the shuttle, and as you're starting to get the repairs with the pieces that you picked up at the science station. And now you need to get out. You need to finish repairing the shuttle before the storms get worse and you get trapped here for days, which means you would eventually succumb to the de-evolution. Oh. All right, so the repairs are an obstacle. We have another one of these where we might be able to get it done real quick because you guys do have... Actually, give me one of those momentum away because we're switching to scene 5 right on the stack. So now you're starting this scene with 2 momentum.
Oh, dear.
This is an obstacle. The progress track of 12, which means we need 12 successes. Magnitude of 2, since this is timed, you only get to try it twice. And the base difficulty of 3 to overcome. And that default task to overcome it is control and engineering. In addition, once that's done, somebody needs to pilot out through the ion storms. So first, let's get it fixed.
all right.
However order you guys want to do it, and however you're going to do it, the default is control plus engineering.
All right, so I guess let's let me do it first. So again, I will use I'll add to your threat pool.
Do you have any determination left?
I do.
You should use it.
He
This is
should
the
use.
last scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He needs to use it to get us off the planet.
I was using it for pilot though. I was thinking.
Yeah, that's a good point. Either one, to pilot out as a difficulty is going to be a 2.
Okay, so I'll use determination then.
Yeah.
I will generate 2 threat.
You know what? No, you hold on to that determination because I was wrong. The person at ops will probably be doing the plotting the course, and then you will have a con task that will be a difficulty of 3 to actually pilot through the course.
Okay.
So you might want to save that.
Yeah.
However, that might be the right place to use it because it will be piloting out.
Exactly.
Right? So yeah, however many successes you get, count towards the end. If you get 3, you're going to make all the repairs.
Can we assist?
Some momentum.
No, this is a group task.
Yeah,
right?
this is one each person has to go.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way we'll do it for now, just to get it finished. Yeah, because I can't
And
remember if we did before.
I'll add a momentum.
Go for it. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun.
Also, another thing that we haven't really done, you don't need to add the momentum until after you've rolled. You can just use it.
Okay.
If you still need it, you use it, so to speak.
So
Control
I
plus
will
engineering.
re-roll this one.
Okay.
But I
So
have
are
4
you using-
successes so far.
All right, so this one's going to work. You're going to be able to get the repairs done in time.
I don't get the 5th success, so
Okay.
I didn't use that.
Okay.
Okay.
So the repairs are done. Now, someone needs to plot the course. This is reason plus science.
That's
Yeah.
good old Tevel.
So you probably have
And I'm going to use my
Yolen's-
analytical talent.
Yolen sitting down at the con now, Tevel manning ops, and Zhao back watching.
I'm in the captain's chair.
There you go.
I'm going to use my analytical talent as well.
Okay.
Purchasing momentum, rolling 3 dice.
Okay.
Are we ready? Oh dear.
Re-roll.
I get to
hold on
reroll.
a second. Yeah, you're good. Okay. There's just something that could come after this, but go ahead.
So it's a 12, a 14, and 18. I'm going to use my analytical talent to re-roll that 18. And it becomes a 6.
Did you have any determination left?
No, I've
No.
used it
Okay.
all.
So that is 3.
3 successes.
So you had 3 successes. Okay.
and I get a momentum back because of my...
All right. The reason I had said hold on for a second is say you had 2 momentum from this task, that could be used to reduce the piloting task by 1. It's specifically spelled out here that 2
Okay.
momentum from this task could reduce that one. But you only had 1, so that didn't work. Anyway. So now at the final... so you've plotted the course now, and the batch of Neanderthals, the final batch of them, as well as the Panther, have woken up, and they're starting to beat on the outside of the ship. So now it's time to pilot your way out of here.
Can we assist at all with any of this or no?
This is the last task, yes. This is no longer an obstacle. This is repairs are done and the course is charted. All that remains is to pilot the ship out, and this is a control plus con task with a difficulty of 3 to pilot the shuttle successfully through the storms
We can
with
assist.
patched
So
up power.
I will
propulsion,
spend
and
my
navigation.
last determination.
Okay. So that gives you 2.
And then I'll roll.
All right.
You want to use momentum?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll use
I
the
would-
last 2
I'll
momentum.
do
I
an
would
assist
definitely.
too, just to see
Go for it.
Try to have the shield set up in a certain spot to protect
Uh-huh.
against those guys throwing rocks and whatnot. Yes,
Okay.
got a 5. So it's one.
Got it.
How many did you end up with? I'm curious.
I bailed on the one roll and I got a success on the other roll.
Do you
So
want to
a
use the
total of
momentum?
3 successes
so
plus
we
the
got
4.
it. Yep.
Yeah, so 4.
So the
Did you use the momentum?
I did.
you escape through the atmosphere of Xerxes 4, and you're able to call for assistance and start limping your way towards the Narendra station. You have successfully completed the mission, the rescue at Xerxes 4, so you're able to get Starfleet to send somebody to help the scientists that are still there, and make your way to the station for your next assignment on a Galaxy-class starship. Whew.
Phew, that was
was pretty
close
close.
there at the end.
Gosh, well, let's take a few minutes and talk about what the heck we just did. Just as a reminder, we just played the Star Trek Adventures Alpha playtest. As part of their Living Campaign playtest series, it was the Rescue at Xerxes 4, which is Adventure Playtest 1. This system, wow, very, very, very different, which made it hard for me to keep up with.
Yeah, and then trying to figure out what, like, for the effects. I think I'm unsure if we're doing those completely correct. Yeah,
I'm almost thinking on that one mechanically. think you're only able to pick an effect that's on the thing you're using.
Right. That makes
For
sense.
example, the intense one was on the Vulcan neck pinch, therefore, or nerve pinch. Therefore, I think you could pick it, but you probably couldn't pick area as an effect for a Vulcan nerve pinch. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Right.
Yeah.
But for a phaser, it would make sense that you can pick area by using a charge because you would shoot more.
Yeah, I mean, for that one, you
Yeah.
can do damage, area, intense, piercing, or vicious,
Yeah.
which is a lot of stuff.
JJ, there's a lot of numbers, or maybe not so much numbers, a lot of system here. What do you think?
I am. When we were picking what to choose, there is sometimes it seems like you could almost always choose your best thing, like, and I think that needs to be a little bit more limited. Your weaknesses do need to come out and play sometime.
I think part of that is because it's a pre-published adventure, there are specific things that need to get accomplished, but they do say in the rules that whatever you have come up with as a player still has to meet the GM's discretion.
Right.
True.
So you could have a level of BSery that I say, no, that's not going to happen, right? If trying to repair the propulsion system, I'm going to use a zip tie. Well, no, that's not going to work in this case. Sorry, but
how about duct tape?
Duct tape, definitely. You can always
Duct tape
I'm going to
always
talk
works.
nicely to the engine and see if
Yeah.
My charisma.
Yeah. But
my empathy.
it is discretionary and not systematic, though, to your point. There isn't a spot where it says, if this is an engineering task, you must use engineering. It does specifically say, as long as the player can describe how they're helping and the GM thinks that it sounds good,
Right.
then let it happen.
Because we could have technically picked guys that didn't have engineering skills at all.
Yeah,
And then we would have
exactly.
had to just do something.
And then you would have had to talk yourself into it using medicine or something. Right? I know how to give the right shot to this engine.
Yeah.
Mickey, your thoughts?
I think it could be really interesting. I think the book needs some rework as far as formatting and layout. It would be nice, like we said, to have a bit of a cheat sheet. It's almost, we spent the first 35 minutes trying to even figure out how to play the game.
Yeah.
And granted, we didn't do any prep work.
Oh,
so.
no. Not even close.
But yeah, it definitely has really good potential, and I can see how, Star Trek fans, you could really get immersed in this universe.
Yeah.
I like it. I like how the idea, at least, of the flow of momentum and threat should go back and forth. I don't think I did a good job with the threat, but I would say, to your point, Mickey, part of that is there's specifics in the book on how to use threat in combat, but there isn't really anything about using threat outside of combat. And since we spent most of our time outside of combat, it would have been useful, like while you're looking for the plants, and it's like a skill challenge, essentially, the wording we would have used, in this case, an obstacle or whatever. Where should I throw threat at that to use up my pool so that you guys are then generating momentum and et cetera, et cetera.
Right, or if, we're trying to we're using the facilities to get the antidote created. Maybe something blows up in our face, something like that.
exactly.
Kind of the machinery.
Now they do say how to use the complications, but the threat that's generated, I think, is just as important, because as you're starting off the scenario, any new scenario, if you want to add extra dice, you don't have momentum yet. So you're generating threat at the beginning, and to me, that's what should be creating the tension through the story.
Right.
And I was trying to find where to add it in that didn't fit something else, so it was kind of clunky there.
It's a good time, though, and I do like. It's a bit dungeon-esque there in that the level of bullshit that you inject into your move.
Personally,
can help
I like
or
that
hinder.
myself.
So I noticed something where, like with Tavel here, analytical.
You mean Tevel?
Yeah, Tevel. I noticed analytical has sort of like a feedback loop going, where she could use it and create opportunity for the momentum, and then re-roll, and then generally create more momentum than she was actually using.
Yeah.
Whereas my guy had a different system where I generated threat to guarantee success.
Yeah.
And I think that feedback loop needs to be closed.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know that. I guess I don't know what I'm saying here, because
You think it makes it too easy to succeed?
exactly. I think it might have been too easy.
Although I think because you're only limited to 6 momentum, maybe it wouldn't be that. We'd burn through it faster, maybe. So
Yeah, that's true. Because when you're buying it, I would say on a regular adventure, by the way I see it written, you should be getting extra dice almost equally by generating threat and using momentum. Because once you've used, we had that one scene where the 3 of you, I think, each used 3 momentum as you were going through, but we should have only had 6 in the pool, so that would have been a little different.
And then each scene is done, you take one back, so we're losing it faster than we normally would have.
So you do need the ability to...
that would
in
make
each scene,
sense.
do you also lose a threat?
Say that again?
When each scene changes, do you also lose a threat?
Not that I've seen, no.
Okay.
Because think about it from the way this just played out. Because I didn't see the right places to use a threat, there were chances for you guys to fail all throughout. But this was like a regular episode where you have a couple of little complications, but the whole thing turned out just fine. Right. And at the worst, somebody's going to end up with a cut over their eye from a rock in this episode, which is fine because in the next episode they're completely healed anyway.
Yeah.
But because of it being a pre-published type of thing, we already knew where it was starting, what was in the middle of the road, and what was at the end. And an more open adventure, I could see where finding clues, gathering information, stuff like that would make it more like you're not automatically going to succeed. Because I felt like you guys were going to get off the planet. It's just how many resources were you going to use up doing it?
Right. So we were actually doing that wrong, too. With determination, that gives you an extra D20.
Yeah.
And it's on a 1. We were taking a D20 out of our standard pool, making it a 1, and then rolling 1 less D20.
Yeah. So we did
So
it
we
wrong.
actually made it a little harder on ourselves.
Yeah, we did.
And you still had, at
still
one point, had 14 momentum sitting in the middle of the table. So I think you
offset it.
Yeah. Yep.
But no, I liked the idea. Like, you fail, but it keeps going, and that's one thing that's kind of sucks about like maybe D&D is that if you fail, you pretty much that's it. Like you fail,
you can't redo it.
It's done.
This one you can redo it, and depending on what you're redoing, the difficulty may go up by a level.
And that's understandable.
Right.
But you can retry it, and I say depending on what you're doing, because in the adventure they specifically had in some spots the next time you try it, it's another 1. The difficulty goes up by 1. Right.
Now
but, not always.
The thing that kind of, I don't know, maybe annoys me or whatever, but the golf scores, like
rolling low instead of high.
Every system wants you to roll high. Like, why are we doing that just to be contrary?
I think not just because it's different, but because if you have high scores, it looks good on your paper, and then you want to roll below that. Yeah. Because otherwise, what are you rolling higher than high? Yeah. And using the system where you're putting 2 numbers together, then otherwise you want all of your numbers to be the lowest.
Exactly.
So I've got a 0 in engineering, and that means
awesome.
I'm better.
You can't be
right?
failed. You can't fail. Yeah.
But yeah. So I think part of it is exactly, look, we have a different system, and you have to roll different.
Okay.
And that, for me, I thought I got a kick out of it when I sent that email saying that bring all the dice that you don't like for D&D because those are the ones that are going to do good for you here.
Yeah.
So it gives that opportunity. I thought it was interesting. There's only 2 dice. I think, depending on how this shapes up, they might do better to add more dice into it to give more variation.
But it makes sense this way, right? Yeah. Because this character's got really high reason and science, right? So that is kind of like the equivalent of her IQ. So anything lower than that is easy for her.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to roll low. Low.
We're just used to needing a high number. Here, you just need a target number, so to speak, not necessarily higher or lower.
So up to you roll, your abilities are set.
Yeah.
So as long as it's within your abilities, you're successful. If it's beyond your abilities, you're not successful.
That sounds logical.
Very logical.
Did you just play a Vulcan or something? That's cray-cray.
My logic is irrefutable.
It sure is. Inconceivable.
Inconceivable.
I don't think that word.
I don't think that's what you think it means.
Now, one other thing I wanted to mention. I don't know if I was doing these obstacles right, where I was saying that you had a target number and what have you. Unfortunately, they're not explained too well in the rules. But where I was saying the progress track of 16, I'm pretty sure that means once you hit 16 successes, collectively it works. Right. Magnitude of 3 means you can try it up to 3 times. But then it says, with a base difficulty of 4 for tasks to overcome it. So when it says to overcome it, to me that means if somebody hits 4 once, it's going to be overcome. But it's not really explained anywhere that I could find.
Means exactly, okay. Right.
So that's the way I was playing it, because it seemed like to get that 4, you were going to use up some resources, and that's the point. Yeah. If you don't try and hit the 4 and you just keep going and you're relatively successful, then at the end everyone hasn't used resources, but it took a longer time to get it done, or you use up resources to get it done quicker.
Yeah.
That's what I see out of it. So that may have been right. This is one of those, it's a brand new system, so there probably isn't anyone out there correcting us except the people who are writing it, or anyone else who happens to have read it.
You're right. Like right now, it's mostly open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Right.
And we interpreted the hell out of this. This was a nice jazz improv.
Yeah. Yeah. It went well.
We had 4 musicians on stage playing 4 different songs at the same time, and in the end, the characters made it off the planet.
And it wasn't a total party kill.
That's all that mattered.
So no Kobayashi Maru.
No Kobayashi Maru. And I didn't get to use my line.
Which
the
one?
needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. Or the one. When we were talking about the medicine, it would have been the perfect time.
It would have been. Any other thoughts before we wrap this one up?
This was very good.
Definitely fun. I guess I'd still like to know how the whole stress and injury thing works. Like that, what's the difference between those? So one of the talents I didn't get to use was the whole survivor.
I can tell you the way mechanically from what I've read, you have your stress chart, as it was your meter. Once you reach the end of that, you go to the injured status. So I think everyone had like 9 or something like that. 9 bubbles.
Actually, I had 9. I believe Mickie had 11.
Okay.
I have 12. I think.
Yeah, I have 11.
So once you have filled all of those in, you turn into injured status. And essentially injured is you can't do anything until somebody makes you uninjured. So you can't perform any tasks once you're injured.
For this, I have the survivor talent. It says the cost to avoid suffering an injury is reduced by 1 to a minimum of 1.
If you were to take 5 stress at once, then you become injured.
Okay.
So that would probably be it. You would avoid being injured by a big hit, so to speak. Yeah. All right.
Cool.
And then I have some short critique on the material itself. Mickey's point of the layout. One of the things that happens in the rule book, the 40-page rule book that we start with, is there's a lot of reference to you can use momentum described later. You can use threat described above. And it's like, for me, I think a glossary would have been really nice. Yep. Give me a spot where you define all of the terms and let me refer back to it, because that would have been a nice cheat sheet as well. Yep. So a glossary would be good. And then in the adventure itself, I want to read you guys the opening where it actually says what you read to the players, which to me doesn't make sense the way it's written by the way the game has to be played. So remember, you have to pilot the shuttle down. You're going to crash land, but you have to pilot it. What you're supposed to have read to you before that is, as you took the shuttle towards the planet's surface, you were caught in the violent storm that knocked out navigation, forcing a crash landing. You're supposed to hear that before you actually pilot and know that you have a crash landing. So you're being told you're in a crash landing. Now go ahead and pilot. But that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And there's a couple of spots like that where that narrative text they put in there describes too much. There's too much in there, stuff that you shouldn't necessarily know yet until you've actually experienced it. But that happens at least a couple of times.
So those are spoilers.
It is, but I think it's consistent enough that it's something that should be addressed. I think that's probably about it, though. Clarity, but as an alpha test, I think things were in enough order that this ragtag group of misfits was able to make it through.
It was definitely playable.
Yeah. Pulled it off.
And I liked, I definitely liked the change in system. More play would be necessary for me to determine if I like the system. It's a neat system. I like the way that the balance flows, that the whole initiative thing, combat. I really like that it just switches sides.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The GM gets to pick who starts and then just go back and forth. Yep. Let the NPCs go, let the PCs go, and just keep doing that. Everyone gets a turn. Yeah. I like that rather than maybe all the PCs are bundled up because you rolled a 10, an 11, and a 12 for initiative, and the NPCs rolled a 1 and a 20. I like that that as a forced side to side is nice.
That way everyone's responding to everything. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I think I'd like to see is how focus ends up playing out later in the system as it develops in the alpha. The way this focus works, where you have to roll under your focus number and you get an extra success, I think it sounds really good, but if you've got a focus of 2, then what is that, a 10% chance that it actually comes into play? And if you're going through a series of adventures where you're not able to use your focus, to me it doesn't feel like it would be as important as it might be. There might be a way to exploit it, but I have no idea what that might be.
Yeah, you would want to create characters, as it were, that have broad focuses.
Yeah. And I think as part of the character creation, essentially you get to put a 4 someplace, a 3 someplace, and a 2 someplace. And you get to pick the focus. So you might want to split that up, but the I don't know. I feel like there should be more prevalence given to focus if it stays as a mechanic.
They may benefit from like a Tavern Tales-esque sort of focus, like that sort of thing. Maybe look at that system for inspiration.
Could be. Although that could be completely rewritten by now. They've had some troubles with that one. But all right. Any
Good
other
deal.
thoughts?
No. It was something different. This was good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I think overall, if and I'm going to do it anyway. So I say if we have to, well, we do have to now. I'm going to say, for me, this is a go. I would play this game again. Anyone else?
Definitely. Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Cool. So we're all in favor of this for now. I will come
Make
up
it
with
so.
something, and I may ask you guys through email too, but I'll come up with something so we can give them feedback, their official feedback, but I'll also make sure that the people who sent out this adventure get links to our podcast so they can listen to us if they want. And in the meantime, here from Adventures from the Shed and our Star Wars Adventures Alpha Playtest, we can all say...
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Live long and prosper.
Okay, thank you.
Make it so.
Let's say something. Okay.
The preceding podcast was brought to you by One Joe Young. You can find us online at adventuresfromtheshed.com.